Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your January 2017 mid-month readings. This reading is to take a look at what's going to be going on in the last couple of weeks of January 2017. It is a general reading, and there's a lot of you watching, so of course it's not going to resonate the same or play out the same for everyone who watches, particularly in the specifics, although the fundamental energy will remain the same. So that's why we always suggest you watch your rising and moon sign videos as well. You may find they play out a little more predictably for you, or just give you additional insights and outlooks on what's happening in your life potentially over the next couple of weeks. Thank you. Always a note of gratitude before we begin to those of you who continue to watch and listen and subscribe to my channel. Welcome to any newcomers. Thank you so much for your support and feedback and for your comments. They're brilliant. Keep them coming. Thank you so much. And thank you for those of you who continue to reach out for personal readings as well. And for my regular clients, particularly in the frequent updates you give on how those readings continue to play out in your lives. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you have not read with me before, you can click on the little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, which will give you a little more information and detail and my contact information. You can email me directly at Maggie, the number one, McGuire at gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you or anyone else if you are interested in a gift reading for friends, family, or loved ones. I offer a variety of types of readings and lengths of time of readings, live or recorded. And I also offer a 12-month, 24 card spread year overview, which explores all the main areas of your life for 12 months from the time of the reading, which you can do any time of the year, but this is always a popular time of year where I get a lot of requests and orders for the year overview as we are starting a beautiful brand new year, 2017. So if you're interested in that, mention that in the email and we'll go from there. I'm always frequently asked about turnaround time, and currently it's anywhere from a couple of weeks up to 2 weeks. Sorry, a couple of days up to 2 weeks. But since I do readings full time, 6 days a week, I'm able to get back with you pretty quickly and schedule a reading almost always within a 2 week period of time, live or recorded. So let's get right into this. This reading is for Scorpio for the remainder of January 2017. And I'm going to be doing the same 8 card spread, even though we're looking more at the last half of the month than the month in its entirety, with an additional 9th card from the bottom of the deck as overall energy and advice. So Scorpio, the Scorpions, what does the remainder of January 2017 have in store for the water sign of Scorpio? Scorpio 2017. January 2017, mid-month. What does the rest of the month of January 2017 have in store for Scorpio? Okay. Okay, Scorpio, we begin with the Hanging Man, followed by the Emperor. Next, we have the Five of Cups, followed by the Chariot, Strength, followed by the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Cups, followed by the Nine of Swords. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy is the Four of Swords. 4 major arcana cards, just about half of your spread is major arcana cards. So strong divine energy this month, divine timing and orchestration. And I feel a very strong message already, Scorpio, that it's time to take a bit of a break, a respite, withdrawing from conflict. It looks like some of you are really kind of tired and worn out and exhausted. We have that Nine of Swords, which is that card of stress, anxiety, worry, which I hate seeing for you. So forewarned is forearmed. That's why we do these readings. We'd like to reverse some of this energy. Let me just take a look, Scorpio. Okay. All right, Scorpio, let's begin. I'm actually going to start with your crowning cards, which is the Four of Swords. overall energy for the next couple of weeks, Scorpio. Swords is air energy. That's the element which governs the suit of swords. And it's all about that airy world of what goes on up in here: words, ideas, communication, how we get what's in here out, how we communicate our thoughts and feelings. It's a very mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. Swords is words, ideas, outlooks, perspectives, belief systems, perceptions, etc. The Four of Swords is a card of respite, of of withdrawing from conflict or needing to withdraw from conflict because it has taken quite a lot out of you. For some of you, this may be what you are doing and have made the decision to do over the next couple of weeks. And for others of you, this is a strong message from Spirit saying you need to take a break. You need to take some time out. Some of you may be really worn out and exhausted. You need to take the next couple of weeks to maybe carve some personal time out for yourself, takes better care of yourself. Looks like something's really taken it out of you. It's not a card of permanent retreat. It's more of taking a break from something so that you can recharge, rest, maybe get a little bit of a different perspective and re-strategize. You can see this man has withdrawn from conflict. The implication is that he's going to go back in something because he's still wearing his chainmail and his armor, which I always find significant as well, because usually this chainmail and armor, which weighed a ton, was taken off the knight or the soldier when he was taking a break from fighting or finished fighting, because it weighed so much and it was very unwieldy. But this man's so worn out and exhausted, he's just fallen asleep on his couch, still wearing his chainmail. These three swords you can see are pointing down at him, and his own is lying close by his hand should he need it, which implies that there's still the rest of the battle to be fought or something which still needs to be completed. But for the time out, for the time being, it's all about taking a time out, withdrawing from conflict, to rest, recuperate, recharge, reflect as well, maybe get a different bit of some different insights. But basically, rest is needed here, and a withdrawal from any conflict, whether that's in a relationship with someone or a situation itself that's been very challenging. So we begin with the energy of the Hanging Man, followed by the Emperor, two major arcana cards. The Hanging Man is a card also of withdrawing from conflict or not engaging in conflict. It can represent feeling like you're in a state of suspended animation, sometimes stasis, limbo. It can represent standing by a decision that you've made, a choice or an action that you've taken, even if it looks strange or out of character to the outside world, which is what this man is doing. You can see he's hanging upside down in what appears to be an awkward or even uncomfortable position, but he's not really struggling against it. It's about standing by a decision you've made, but particularly not to engage, because sometimes, especially for those of you for whom this represents an actual conflict you're in, maybe you're in a fight with somebody else, whether it's a personal relationship or something at work, or even a legal or lawsuit, civil litigation of some kind. Sometimes the best way to win a battle is not to fight one at all, which is what the Hanging Man can represent as well. And withdrawing from that, making a decision not to engage in something, retain control, in order to retain ultimate control over a situation, control over yourself as well. Now, the Hanging Man is accompanied by the Emperor, another major arcana card. It's a pretty powerful combination. And how it actually plays out is going to vary from person to person watching this. It's going to mean different things, although the energy is the same. The Emperor is a card that can represent an actual person in your life, which could be a father figure, or your actual father. There is a strong paternal energy around the Emperor. The energy of the Emperor is about structure, discipline, rigidity sometimes. It can sometimes represent a person that's very rigid or structured, sometimes somebody who's very controlling or domineering. It can represent, in terms of sheer energy, needing to be structured and disciplined, being in control of something, something. The energy of the emperor is a world where, all the trains run on time and everything's done by the rules, by the book, step by step, because that's what the emperor has to do. He has an entire empire to run, and every decision he makes affects a large number of people and their lives. So he has to be very careful, very structured, very methodical, and very thoughtful about everything that he does. So it's a card of a lot of control and being structured. Now, for some of you, this energy of the hanging man, the emperor, some of you, what's really worn you out or what you've been need to take a break from is a situation where you've been in conflict or struggle with someone who represents the emperor in your life, perhaps someone who's been very controlling or domineering. It can represent a relationship that has too many of those elements and you're just worn out. For some of you, this could be a situation where you've been the emperor. You've been the one in control, running everything, pouring all your energy into keeping things together, keeping things running, whether that's at work or whether that's at home or just some other situation in your life. It feels like you're really, however it plays out for you specifically, Scorpio, it feels like you're really worn out. A lot of you watching this are just, you're tired. You need to take a break from whatever this is. And also, if this is an actual conflict, particularly those of you about a personal relationship, this is a time period where you're being strongly, strongly advised by spirit to withdraw temporarily from this conflict, to rest, recharge, and reflect, maybe get a different perspective on it and figure out how to bring it to a close. Because I feel like the whole energy of this reading is about finding a way through this so you can get beyond it. It's not a situation I feel like that is meant to a conflict or a struggle or a challenge that's meant to continue for very long. This is about finding a solution so that you can complete it and move on to the next thing. And I feel like for some of you, maybe even a larger portion of you, whatever this challenge or conflict or struggle is, has something to do with your home or your family or your home and family life as well. So after that, we transition into the energy of the Five of Cups, accompanied by the Chariot. So the Five of Cups here, we have water energy, which is the element that governs the suit of cups. And it is a watery fluid, mercurial energy. It's all about emotions, feelings, relationships, and love. That's what the energy of the suit of cups manifests as, how we relate to people, both in our close, intimate relationships and more external ones as well. And it's about our emotional landscape. The Five of Cups is a card about having a lot of attention and focus, too much so into the negative aspects of something, or in the past, grief, loss of some kind, which is what this man is doing. You can see he's sunk down to his knees in the grass, and he's mourning. He's in grief over something, and all of his energy is focused on these three goblets, which are tipped over and spilled out. And these goblets are representative of some kind of loss in his life, something he's lost or has had taken away from him, something which has changed and it no longer is present in his life, an emptiness, a gap of some kind. A situation which or relationship which has gone wrong somehow. All of his energy is focused on what no longer is, and it can be a card about being kind of stuck in the past, stuck in negativity, too much focus on that. And if that's where our energy is, that's where we're kind of stuck in, because we can't look forwards and backwards at the same time. So the message which always accompanies the Five of Cups is that it's time to pull this energy back and start focusing more on blessings and positive things which are still in your life and in your environment, and on opportunities which are coming, because this isn't the Three of Cups, it's the Five of Cups. You can see right behind this man are these two goblets, beautiful, upright, full, but he can't see them because his back is turned to him. He doesn't notice them because his energy is focused only on whatever the source of this loss or grief or deep, deep disappointment or pain is. So it's time to kind of stand up and brush yourself off and take stock at what still remains and opportunities to move forward in the future. And that's the only way to get out of this energy, is by sheer determination and kind of force of will. It's time to pull yourself out of whatever this situation is, it feels like there's one last thing that needs to be done for you to close something out and be done with it once and for all. It looks like the initial advice is to take some time out to withdraw from whatever it is because it looks like it's just kind of wearing you out. Rest, recharge, recuperate, take care of yourself, which will provide a space of reflection, perspective, and problem solving, re strategizing. Stop putting so much energy into the negative aspect of it, and let's figure out how to deal with this and how to close it out and move forward. The Five of Cups is paired with the Chariot card, which is all about that energy. The Chariot card is another major arcana card, and it's a great card. It's a card of success, but success that comes from pretty much just powering through something, sheer will, determination, strength, having a plan, harness, pulling together everything that you need, executing the steps of that plan, and moving forward successfully. Momentum is the key to this, planning and momentum. Don't take no for an answer, just power right through. That's the key to operating this chariot. The driver of this chariot has to know where she's going, a plan, how to get there. She has to operate the chariot, the wheels of the chariot, the sphinxes which run the chariot. It's all about bringing everything together, figuring out a way to harness them and make them work in unison to successfully propel something forward and get out of this energy of the Five of Cups. So far it's about taking time out, re-strategizing, figuring out a way through this, and take some time to take some care, take better care of yourself, Scorpio. Kind of do whatever it is that you personally need to do to recharge and figure out a final solution to this. And it's just going to take some strength and perseverance and determination. The whole energy that I'm getting right now is that it's time to stand up and move. It's not contradictory to the opening message. This is about taking some time off to take care of yourself, maybe getting away for a few days if you can. It feels like there's a one last thing that needs to be dealt with in order for you to close this situation out or move away from this situation. And once you take some time out to do that, then it's time to act. And in the meantime, don't, while you're going through that process, there's too much energy being put on what no longer is, which is not productive. So next we move into, and the advice continues in the next two cards as well. We next move into the Strength card, accompanied by the Nine of Wands. So Strength, another major arcana card, very strong, profound energy and messages from universe over the next couple of weeks, Scorpio. Strength is about, for a lot of you watching, this is about facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities head on, not dwelling in them, not dwelling in the negativity of them, but facing them, overcoming them, change the things that you can change, recognize what you have control over and what you don't, make the changes and take action that you are able to do, and come to grips with and let go of the rest of it that you don't have any control over. That is a beautiful follow-up to the energy of the chariot, which will help kind of reverse and get you out of this Five of Cups energy of being stuck in the past, dwelling on the negative and grief and loss. It's time to stand up, brush yourself off, start taking better care of yourself, figure out what the choices and actions that you can take, that you have control over in this situation or this relationship, Scorpio, and begin to move forward about that. And again, coming to a sense of acceptance with what you no longer have any control over and what no longer remains in your life. It's time to let that go, to move on from that. Now, strength is paired with the Nine of Wands. So we have fire energy here, which is the element that governs wands. Wands is all about, again, forward moving action, change, movement, action, power, creating and building and manifesting. It's forward moving. The Nine of Wands is about being almost done, kind of being at the end, because tens are completion, coming full circle. You're not quite there yet, but you're almost there. We're at the nine here, the Nine of Wands. Now, this cluster of eight wands behind this man is representative of something he's run into, something maybe unexpected, a challenge, an obstacle, a block, a delay of some kind. Almost at the end, though, like whatever this is, Scorpio, you're almost at the end of it. There's just like one last hurdle, one last thing, one last piece of the puzzle that needs to go in there so that you can complete this, close it out, and move on from this. And this man has retreated a little bit. He's withdrawn a little bit, and he's kind of sunk down to his knees, and he's trying to figure it out. How do I get past this obstacle? Do I go through it? Do I go under it, around it? How do I deal with this? Because I'm almost there. I'm almost home. I just need to figure out how to get through this one last obstacle. So it's about, again, similar energy to that Four of Swords and the Hanging Man. It's time to, I mean, if you feel like you've been beating your head on a brick wall and it's not working, it's time to take a few steps back, take another look at it, maybe look at it from another perspective, rest and recuperate while you're doing that, figure it out, and then going back in and finishing it. This is all about wrapping something up, Scorpio, and having the strength and courage to do that, and to move your focus off what no longer is, particularly if it's a source of pain and grief and sorrow for you. It's time to move on. It's time to wrap this up and move on. And perhaps for some of you too, this delay or obstacle or challenge for you, it actually, what it is actually just the final piece of letting go for you. It's like there's one thing that you're still hanging on to that's keeping you from moving forward into your future, and it's time. This is the time to cut loose from that and put it behind you. Take what joy and value and good things that you can from it, and leave any bitterness and resentment and anger behind as you move forward, because it's, and I just got a bit of a ping on that. I think for a lot of you, this one last obstacle or challenge is actually just completing the letting go process and moving forward. So at or towards the end of January 2017, moving into the beginning of February, we have the 10 of Cups, followed by the 9 of Swords. I don't like seeing this energy for you, Scorpio. So forewarned is forearms. We want to reverse this energy, this Nine of Swords and this Five of Cups. The Nine of Swords, remember, swords is that mental, intellectual energy here, those thoughts. The Nine of Swords is a lot of stress, anxiety, worry, the staying up late at night. This woman's thoughts and concerns and fears are keeping her up. She can't sleep. She's so totally consumed with whatever the source of her anxiety or fear or grief, loss is. Now, you can, and that's what these swords represent too. They can represent one overall situation or a lot of different ideas kind of chasing themselves around, so she can't sleep at night when everyone else is sleeping. You can see this little owl sitting on the windowsill here, and just like every tarot card, everything in it is symbolic. It has a meaning. This little owls are one of those universal symbols of wisdom, knowledge, insight. It's very close to her. It represents a solution, an answer, a way out, a way to move on. But just like the Five of Cups with those two goblets behind that man, she can't see this owl, even though it's almost close enough for her to reach out and touch. It implies that a way out or an answer solution is right there, but she's all of her energy is on whatever the source of this pain is. Uh, and it's really, again, Scorpio, I feel like it's this final letting go so that you can move on. It's like, it feels like you're holding on to the vestiges of something, and it's really time to just kind of tie a balloon string to it and let it go, because you don't need this level of stress, anxiety, and worry. And it's somewhat illusionary too, because one, the answer, the way out, the letting go is right there. You just need to start doing it. And the Nine of Swords often comes up when someone has something, they've invested so much energy into whatever this is that it's grown into this great big huge thing in your head and in your heart, when in the reality of the situation, it's not really that big anymore, and it's time to move on. So we want to reverse this energy. Now, it's crowned by the 10 of Cups. So we have more emotional energy here. The 10 of Cups is a beautiful card. 10 is completion. It's the coming full circle, the culmination of something. And so that, because it's the 10 of Cups, which is emotions, feelings, relationships, this is about a complete emotional fulfillment of yourself. This is being at that place in life where you feel like everything's come together again. All the puzzle pieces are fitting. Everything just feels right. Not perfect, but the way that it's supposed to be, and feeling very emotionally content and happy and fulfilled and joyful. It's a card about family, home, and harmony as well. Now, the fact that it's over the Nine of Swords, for some of you, I feel like this is the source of your stress, anxiety, and worry is something to do with your home and family life. And for some of you, this could be a loss that you've suffered in the past, which has to do with your family dynamics or home situation. For others of you, it's going to be a specific relationship. Um, it feels more emotional and family oriented than, say, career, work, or job, although you can apply those same energies. It could be perhaps that some of you maybe were forced into early retirement or got laid off from something, which financially, of course, affects your home and family. And there's so much energy being put into it. Again, the specifics are going to split off into a lot of different stories depending on who's watching. But it's about needing to move on ultimately at the end of the day, Scorpio. It's about needing to move on. And it feels like you're just hanging on to kind of like the last shreds of something, and spirit is strongly telling you and supporting you and letting go, move on. It's going to be okay. It is going to be all right. It's going to be better than all right. So we come back around to your crowning card overall again, that Four of Swords. Rest, restoration, healing, recuperation. Quick recap: it's time to withdraw from conflict. It's time to take back the energy that you've been putting into, focusing, pouring into whatever the source of this grief or loss or pain is. It's time to let go of it. Start taking better care of yourself, and take that energy and put it into your future, into your present and your future. It's time to move forward and let go of whatever this is. The energy is somewhat kind of fuzzy and nebular. I mean, it's I'm getting more emotional family home than anything else, but there's a few other stories kind of swirling around in there too. But again, at the end of the day, it's really about letting go. Enough time has been spent in the past and what no longer is, and it's time to move on, Scorpio. Very powerfully and very assertively having the courage and strength to move on and let go finally, so that you can have this happy home family harmony. Once again, put yourself on a path where everything feels like it's flowing well again, and we want to reverse this energy of the Nine of Swords. I don't like seeing that for you. Well, Scorpio, that pretty much wraps up the remainder of January 2017 for you. I hope you've enjoyed this reading, or at least have found it useful in some way. If it hasn't resonated for you at all, uh, check your rising and your moon sign. They may be a little more predictive for you over the next couple of weeks. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the February 2017 mid-month readings. And again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on that little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, and you can email me directly at Maggie, the number one, McGuire at gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I will see you all again soon. And until then, as always, Scorpio, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.